The old man sat on the porch swing, its rusty chains groaning in protest with each push of his shoe against the floor. He wasn't always an old man, you know. Once he was young and strong and had a name that struck fear into the hearts of men. They called him Chainsaw Jimbo, and there were rumors that his chainsaw was involved in several disappearances in the Pine Barrens. Some said he made maple syrup with the finest ingredients. Others said he dipped his biscuits in the blood of his victims. But the truth was that Chainsaw Jimbo was just a man trying to make a living, even if it meant doing some dirty work for the local crime boss. But now, decades later, his hands were gnarled and brown with age, and the only thing that turned with the rusty chains was the screen door in the distance. A black sedan rolled up the dirt road towards the house, kicking up dust devils that danced in the late afternoon sun. It was the kind of car that didn't belong in these parts, and the man on the porch knew that. He just hoped it wasn't there for him. But when the car stopped in front of him and two men got out, he knew his time had come at last. He recognized the men instantly, or at least the one in the passenger seat. The driver was young, maybe early 20s, with a shaved head and a neck like a telephone pole. But the other man was someone Jimbo hadn't seen in over 30 years. It was Johnny Sack, and he looked every bit the mobster Jimbo remembered. He wore a dark suit and tie, but it was the gold pinky ring that really gave him away. "Johnny Sack," Jimbo rasped, his voice like sandpaper on wood. "What are you doing here?" "Thought you might be able to help me with something," Johnny said, his voice smooth like a fresh poured whiskey. "You got a saw in that shed, right, Jimmy?" Jimbo didn't answer right away. He knew what was coming. He could see it in Johnny's eyes. It was the same look that had stared back at him from the barrel of a gun all those years ago. Back then, it had been a look of pure hatred. Now it was just cold. "I haven't done that kind of work in years," Jimbo finally said. "I figured you wouldn't," Johnny said, taking a step closer. "But I also figured you wouldn't have a problem helping me get rid of a few inconveniences." Jimbo didn't want to do this. He really didn't, but something inside of him snapped. Maybe it was the years of pent-up anger or the sudden urge to just let go. Whatever it was, he felt a strange sense of calm wash over him. "Get off my porch," he rasped, standing up slowly. His joints ached with the effort, but there was a fire in his old bones that hadn't been there in decades. Johnny smiled, revealing teeth as white as marble. "You really haven't changed, have you, Jimmy? Still as quick with that mouth of yours as I remember." The old man leaned closer, his eyes boring into Johnny's. "Get off my porch." Johnny didn't move. He just kept smiling. And that's when the old man did something that shocked them both. He spit on Johnny's shoes. It wasn't much, just a little bit of saliva and a smear of tobacco juice. But it was enough. Johnny's smile vanished. He lunged for the old man, but it was too late. In one swift movement, the old man brought his foot down on the rusty chains, sending the tire swing flying through the air. It caught Johnny by surprise, knocking him clean out. "I don't like surprises," the old man said, his voice surprisingly strong. "Now get off my porch!" The young man with the shaved head finally found his voice. "You crazy old bastard, I'll kill you!" But before he could make good on his threat, the old man swung again, connecting with the back of the young man's head. He crumpled to the ground like a discarded rag doll. The old man stood there panting, his heart pounding in his chest. It had been a long time since he'd exerted himself like that. But as he looked down at the two men at his feet, he knew it was worth it. But then he noticed something. Johnny's eyes were open, staring up at him with a look of pure hatred. Jimbo felt a chill go down his spine. He should have killed Johnny a long time ago. Now he was going to pay the price. Johnny lunged for the old man, his eyes wild with rage. But it was too late. The old man brought his foot down on Johnny's head, and this time he crushed him like a grape. The old man stumbled back, his eyes wide with surprise. He hadn't meant to kill Johnny, he just wanted to scare him off. But as he looked down at the blood staining his porch, he knew that it was too late for apologies. The screen door creaked open, and a young boy stood there holding a baseball. "Pa, can I have that?" The old man looked down at his son, then back at the two bodies at his feet. "Not now, son," he said, his voice surprisingly gentle. "Not now."